President Biden is enacting new rules to strengthen the sale of electric vehicles. The administration will allow California and 11 other states to impose a ban on gas-powered cars by 2035. That accounts for 40% of the U.S. auto market. Biden hopes this economic power will encourage automakers to produce more EVs, regardless of who is president. All of this happening as electric car sales in the U.S. are slowing, forcing manufacturers to scrap plans to expand their EV lines. Here with us is automotive expert and the founder of the Car Coach Reports, Lauren Fix. Lauren, welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot going on. This is really serious. I mean, when you're telling you, hey, you have to drive an electric car, and they're going to mandate 100% of sales there's actually a total of 17 states that will jump on by 2030. And as of 2026, they're going to start making it that if you don't sell an electric car in the state, and I don't mean one, I mean 35%, you're not going to be allowed to sell vehicles in that state.
But
that's big.
Then why is there a growing lag in sales when it comes to EVs?
Well, there's a lot of reasons. One, the average cost of a gasoline-powered car is about $48,000. The average cost of any electric car, it's average, now obviously some more and less, is $60,000. It's a big variance. And on top of that, we've got people still can't afford these vehicles because the insurance rates are higher and you need to have charging. And only 60% of the country has garages to plug them in. So if you don't have a garage, it means you need to go to public charging. You can't drop a cord in New York City or Chicago from your 10th story apartment. That won't work. So you have to find a place to charge. And we saw in Chicago what happened last winter when people just abandoned their vehicles and said, that's it, I'm leaving the car, and they were out. So that's been a problem on a global basis. The charging infrastructure is not there. They took billions of our dollars and they only put up 6 charging stations. That's our tax dollars. Anytime they say the government's paying for it, it's your money. In addition, that's the cost, the insurance, and it is frustrating, the range anxiety, because when you want to fill up, you just add gasoline in 7 minutes, you're back on the road, and you probably have a soda and a bag of chips with you. And that you can't do with an electric car.
And Lauren, talk about Biden's decision to allow California, along with those other states, to ban gas-powered vehicles in 11 years. That's not a lot of time. How could this impact sales moving forward?
It's a huge impact. First off, I know the first thing that President Trump's going to do when he gets into office is remove that $7,500 tax credit, remove that mandate. And I'm sure that Lee Zeldin is going to go after, because he's in charge of the EPA, he's going to go after the California Air Resources Board, which gained more power under President Obama. So because of that, now President Biden is continuing to push this electric vehicles. Consumers don't want them. So what you're doing is you're forcing consumers to make choices. Consumers will keep the vehicles they have. That's number one. You're also causing them to go to other states to purchase vehicles that they want. But manufacturers don't make money on electric cars. And the only one that makes a little bit of money is Tesla. The rest of them make no money. They actually take a loss. For example, the Ford F-150 Lightning has a $40,000 loss on every single vehicle it sells. So how do you make that money up? So they raise the price of their other vehicles, their hybrids, their gasoline-powered vehicles. Consumers have made their choices. They want hybrids. They want gasoline-powered vehicles. If you want an electric car, they're out there. But without that mandate, consumers definitely won't consider it.
And you mentioned this. Some of the most sought-after EVs are significantly more expensive than the traditional gas-powered vehicles. Why are they so expensive, and what will it take to bring pricing down? Is it simply more infrastructure when it comes to charging?
Well, I think the average cost of the vehicle, the reason it's so high is all those materials that go to the battery are owned by Chinese mining companies. So you have to buy those from China. And if they add a tariff on top of it, it's going to be even more expensive. We don't mine those materials here in the U.S. or in North America because they're dangerous. You don't see cobalt mines because it causes cobalt lung. It damages the environment around it. So we don't do that. But in China, they do it. They do it in Afghanistan. I mean, there's a million places they're doing it around the world, but they're not here. South America also has mines. Africa has mines. And this is a problem. So the choice is, do you buy an electric car? Do you buy a hybrid? That's your choice. The idea is that consumers can choose what they want. And now the one thing about that mandate going away is what's going to happen is manufacturers won't be making electric cars. They'll make a few. You'll find like Hyundai will make their Ioniq line because it sells, but General Motors will probably make the Chevy Bolt line, some of the more reasonably priced cars because those do sell. But when you're looking at the more expensive cars that get really crazy expensive, manufacturers can't afford to make these and consumers can't afford to buy them. And I highly suggest you lease one anyhow, because in 3 years after your lease is up, they're outdated.
Right. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.